Greetings, fellow alumni. We are here at Rose Alumni House, and we are excited to be shooting Season 2 of Yale Afternoons with Alison, a series where we bring university leaders to Rose Alumni House to talk about their priorities and alumni engagement. Today, I'll be sitting down with Josh Geballe, Senior Associate Provost for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Hi, Josh Geballe.
Hello,
welcome
Alison
to Rose Alumni House.
Oh, it's great to be back.
We're excited to have you here.
Thanks for the invitation.
We overlapped when we were at Yale, and now we're overlapping back here again. So we're going to talk today about Yale Ventures, and excited to learn more about that and ways that alumni can support the work that you're doing here at Yale.
Great.
So let's start. Tell us a little bit about you, and tell us a little bit about Yale Ventures.
Sure. So I'm a Yale alum, as you mentioned, class of 97, worked for a few years, and then came back to Yale to school management, class of 02, and spent about 20 years in the tech industry. That's where most of my career has been, both big companies, also leading a software startup company. Did a little tour of service in the public sector, working for Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont, and then came back to Yale about 3.5 years ago to lead Yale Ventures. And Yale Ventures is a new entity. It was founded shortly after I got here. And think of it as like the umbrella organization for entrepreneurship and innovation across the whole university.
Okay.
So we run a number of different programs and services that support our faculty, our students, our staff, and the broader startup ecosystem around New Haven and Connecticut, with the overarching goal of trying to have the greatest impact on the big challenges facing the world, driven by Yale innovation and Yale innovators. That's
amazing. So you talked about, give us an example of one of those programs that you talked about, and is there one you want to highlight?
Sure. There's so many. I hesitate to pick out one. Maybe I'll highlight the Blavatnik Fund for Innovation. This is kind of our longest serving accelerator program that supports the translation of faculty research discoveries in life sciences. So, of course, Yale has an incredible School of Medicine and a wide range of biomedical research going on all across Yale. This accelerator program provides grant funding, mentorship, and support to take some of the most promising projects that our faculty and their trainees are developing and get them de-risked and advanced to the point where we can spin out a new startup company based on that research, attract investment that can hopefully scale it up to become a new therapy that can cure a disease or improve human health.
Well, that sounds like a really massive undertaking. I mean, there's a lot of incredible scholarship and innovation coming out of Yale. Tell us a little bit about your team. How big is your team? And are you spread across the entire university, or do you find yourselves focusing in specific areas?
Yeah, so the team is about 60 people overall across a number of different programs and centers, as I described. And we support the whole university. So, there's, as I mentioned, a lot of bioscience innovation, but of course, our engineering school is growing rapidly and is producing a wide range of new discoveries in quantum computing and advanced materials and new semiconductor technology and so much more. And Planetary Solutions is generating new technologies with the potential to capture carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere and generate new sources of renewable energy. So, and then all the way to the humanities and the arts, there's incredible innovation going on there as well. We just launched a new program that supports arts innovation across the campus. So it really is all corners of Yale.
That's amazing. I love, like myself, an alum who came back to Yale. Tell me why. What brought you back, and what has been the biggest surprise of coming back here as an employee, not a student?
Yeah, well, there were a lot of things. I'd say the biggest factor was, my journey leading a startup company. We were fortunate to have a successful outcome. We got so much support from mentors, from advisors, from investors. And I feel like if you are fortunate enough to go through that journey and have a good outcome, it's a good thing to try to give it back to the next generation. And so when this job was brought to my attention, an opportunity to do that, but to come back to Yale, to my alma mater, and to do that here, supporting, our faculty who are almost across the board the leading scholars in their respective domains, our students who are brilliant beyond comparison to, I think, when we were students. I'm not sure I would have gotten in today. But just the opportunity to work with them, to learn from this groundbreaking research that's going on in the Yale labs, it's just an incredible opportunity. And then the outcome of this work often generates incredible new innovations that change the world,
Right.
that drive economic development here in New Haven as well. So that's
Yep.
also a fun part of it. So all these things came together to make this just kind of like my dream job at this point.
I love that. That's a great story. So as you think about the current and future scene for Yale Ventures, like what are your top priorities that you can explain to all the alums who are listening?
Sure. Well, the number one and kind of overarching priority is about impact. It's about wanting to see the $1.3 billion that Yale spends per year on research and the brilliance of our faculty and our students and our staff have as much real-world impact as possible.
Okay.
So that's making sure that these new research discoveries get translated out into the private sector where they can attract investment and hopefully become things that make a difference, improve human health, improve our quality of life. So that's the number one goal. In addition to that, we want our students and faculty to feel really well supported. We want them to know that they've got the resources, the services, the policies, the culture here at Yale that enables them to take their ideas and their discoveries and take them as far as they can.
Yeah.
And I guess third and natural outcome of those things, if we get them right, is we'd like to see Yale's reputation as a real mecca for entrepreneurship and innovation continue to rise. I think that's been happening, but we want to continue to push that forward as well.
That's incredible. So alumni are always interested in how they can help, and those goals are really ambitious and lofty, but how could an alum who's watching right now come and help you achieve those priorities?
Sure. Well, there's so many ways that alums can get involved.
Okay.
And there's a continuum of how much time and effort you want to put in. So
Sure.
on the light touch end, come to some of our events. We put on a lot of events that showcase Yale innovation. One I would highlight is the Yale Innovation Summit, which takes place in May. 2,500 people from around the world, 6 tracks of programming that showcase the full breadth of Yale innovation. There's celebrity speakers, there's pitch competitions, there's parties. It's a very fun event, so I'd encourage everyone. It's also sandwiched in between the 2 reunion weekends, so a lot of alumni are often back there as well. So come to the Innovation Summit and see what's going on. Because it's very different than probably when many of our alums were on campus or when they were students. Getting a little more involved, we rely a lot on alumni volunteers who have deep domain expertise in some of the areas of research going on here to serve as mentors to a lot of these projects. I mentioned we have a staff, but there's still far more projects than we have the bandwidth to support. And we rely very heavily on hundreds of alumni who've been successful entrepreneurs, investors, industry executives who have deep domain expertise. And so if one of our alumni kind of has interest in time and want to get involved, they should definitely reach out. On the kind of high end, a lot of the programs we run are funded through philanthropy and through the generosity of alumni and other friends of Yale who've made major gifts that enable us to launch these accelerator programs and innovation centers that enable us to do the work that we do.
So Innovation Summit, that's open to anyone, and the information is, where can someone find that?
So all of this information, you can find much more on our website is ventures.yale.edu.
Great, and we will link to that in our video.
Awesome.
And on the kind of mentoring part, like the deep domain knowledge, are there specific domains you're looking for? Or is it like, I'm an alum, I want to help, I'm going to come to you and just share where I happen to have a lot of expertise? Like, how do you want that flow of information?
Yeah, it's really across the board, as I said. I mean, there is a lot of activity in therapeutics, bioscience, life sciences broadly, in all the different areas of engineering going on here, planetary solutions, but also in support of our students who have interests that run the full gamut of everything you can imagine. So I'd encourage folks, if you're interested, just to reach out and we'll figure out how to get you engaged.
Well, we will do that. So can you highlight specific work of an alum that can kind of tell the story of how alums are helping you?
There's so many. I hesitate to single anyone out. Maybe a good, safe one to highlight is our governor, Ned Lamont, who's SOM class of 1980. He has been through his administration. Full disclosure, I worked for him prior to coming to Yale. I was a chief operating officer in his administration. But he's done an enormous amount to invest in the innovation economy here in New Haven and across Connecticut. He was just here last week, in fact, to make a huge announcement of a $50 million grant that's coming to New Haven to support a number of things, including Quantum CT, which is a huge initiative being led by Yale and UConn together to build a quantum innovation ecosystem, leveraging the amazing strength of quantum research at Yale. As well as to continue to develop the infrastructure in New Haven so that all these startup companies that we're spinning out have the lab space and the resources here to stay here and grow here rather than the need to move to another city. So he's been an absolutely amazing supporter of Yale and of innovation coming out of Yale in particular.
Yeah, and if alums wanted to get involved as a mentor to some of your programs, are there alums who do that sort of alum to alum coaching who could kind of serve as a mentor to a possible mentor? So there's the opportunity to kind of learn from another alumna before I dip my toe in this water?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, as soon as I leave here, I'm going back to a session we're doing at our office for these mentors. We call them EIRs, executives in residence. We bring them together several times a year to learn about best practices and how to be a great mentor, connect with each other. And so we do a lot of that.
That's awesome. I think that'll make it easier, and people will help to understand how they can make sure they're doing this to the best of their ability.
Absolutely. We can all learn, and we can always be better teachers and coaches.
Yeah, I love that. So we're going to dive into some more fun questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you have a favorite Yale memory? Student and employee?
Student that I can share in public. Narrows it down a lot. I think I'd probably say, so my daughter just became a first year here. And so,
that's amazing.
Having her kind of walk us around on family weekend conjured up a lot of memories of when I was a first year, and kind of remember like walking across campus that first time, and one of those beautiful fall evenings, and just looking around and being like, this place is amazing. And there's a few memories like that, I think.
What college were you?
I was in Styles.
Same.
Yep. Let's go.
Go Moose. And is she in Styles, or did she go a different route?
She decided to play the lottery. She's in trouble. Yep.
Fair. Favorite memory as an employee?
I love the events that we put on. They have such great energy. They bring together the enthusiasm of our entrepreneurs with the interest of the outside world. International delegations come to these events. We just bring together so many amazing people. Our the website I mentioned has the events calendar on there. And I just encourage people to come to some of the Yale Ventures events. They're a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Do you have a favorite New Haven pizza place?
Well, in the pizza capital of the world, it's hard to choose, but I have been a Sally's guy for a long time.
I have to say, I don't know if you've eaten at the Styles Morse Dining Hall, and the pizza there holds up.
I have heard reports. I'm going to need to go check it out.
I think you need to check it out, because it does hold up against quality New Haven pizza.
Good.
Is there an item you always have on your desk?
No, just my laptop. So I've been paperless for a long time. And we moved into new offices in one of the new developments, 101 College Street. And we set up the office so that all the offices are shared. They're bookable, kind of hoteling model. So you got to travel light. So the only thing ever on my desk is my laptop.
Amazing. Not even a monitor.
There's monitors too, There's kind of standard issue monitors.
All right, and last question for you. Favorite spot on campus?
Well, I probably would go to a spot that we probably share a real affinity for, Morey's.
Yes.
So many great memories as an undergrad and grad student at Morey's. And we, of course, have the honor of serving together on the board of directors at Morey's.
We do.
And that's a place with a lot of great memories in the past, and more and more memories being generated every day.
Yes, it's been so fun being on the Morey's board with you and seeing you bring your kind of entrepreneurial spirit to that group. But we figured to kind of celebrate Morey's and our joint affinity for the place, so we would wrap up with a red cup, a children's red cup. So the cup is yours.
Okay, all right.
We'll follow the rules.
Fortunately, it's not so low that I'm going to end up having to spin it on my head.
No, we're not doing that. We will be professional, I promise.
All right.
All right, turning it.
Give it a rotate.
All right, cheers, everybody. And thank you so much, Josh, for being here. This was great. And to learn more about Yale Ventures, as Josh said, go to their website.